North Dakota first. Welcome back. President Biden unveiled 6 executive orders this past Thursday, which he says will help curb gun violence in America, ordering the ATF to conduct a data study on criminal gun trafficking, closing a loophole that's contributed to the proliferation of so-called ghost guns, and establishing a national red flag law are among the most talked about actions. Senator Kevin Cramer joins us now to talk about these orders and their meaning for North Dakota. Thanks for joining us, Senator.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. What's the number one thing you oppose in the president's announcement?
Well, there are a couple of things, but I would have to say one of the biggest red flags for me is the red flag provision of all of this, where he wants to take sort of model state legislation and serve it up as a best practice, whether or not to create a national red flag law or whether it becomes a standard for state red flag laws. That one concerns me, and the reason it does is because it proposes to require some sort of due process for somebody to get the rights that are inherent in the Constitution. They shouldn't need to have due process to get a right that's already guaranteed them. The due process should come with a move to remove those rights. And so the red flag laws have always been a concern to me because I just think they're fundamental. The other thing I would say, I just don't see a lot of emphasis on helping us enforce existing laws. And there are a lot of laws on the books that either get ignored or that states and local governments aren't enforcing, particularly getting people on the NICS list, the National Instant Criminal Background list. That would be very, very helpful in trying to keep guns out of the hands of the wrong people as opposed to out of the law-abiding people's hands.
Yeah. Sadly, as you know, we've had multiple mass shootings to start this year. In the month of March, we had shootings in Georgia and Colorado that resulted in 18 deaths. If not gun regulation, what should be done by Congress to stop these mass murders from happening?
Yeah, really important point, because I hate to blame the gun, and that's always what happens. Although we've seen some killings lately that involved cars. I mean, today we are honoring a fallen Capitol Police officer in our rotunda who was killed by a car. And so it's not about the weapon so much. So then what is it about? Well, it's about the people doing the killing. And this is where the red flag laws become a problem. But what I do think we should look to do is find ways for families to intervene sooner in the lives of people, find ways for healthcare providers to respectfully help a patient, for example, that seems likely to harm themselves or others, and then intervene with a family member. I know that this intrudes a little bit on people's privacy. It intrudes on some of the HIPAA laws, but I do think that we can do a lot more to help the victims of gun violence by having more of a family conversation, if you will, around mental health issues.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Senator Kevin Cramer, thank you so much.
Thank you.